What was the initial reason for you to choose regulation consulting as the main field of your activity?
Well, it is one of the most demanding fields that I have definitely worked in. Today that the financial regulation is changing around the world, especially in the area of Forex, one has to say that it is a very fertile ground as yet for the development of a good and solid business. Of course, it is extremely demanding. One has to make sure that is able to keep up to the most recent regulatory reforms, and one has to be able to guide one's clients and stand next to them, support them in order to proceed and do their business as they would like in terms of trading, attracting clients. Our job is, of course, to make sure that we support our clients in a way that they can go about do their business whilst not having to deal with regulatory changes, with compliance issues, with internal audit issues, capital adequacy, etc.
What are the advantages of SISEC in comparison with competing regulations such as Maltese or Irish?
Well, all of the European Union regulation is extremely similar. That's why we have MiFID, and this is one of the great advantages of MiFID, the fact that it has managed to harmonize regulation throughout the European Union. So in terms of actual regulation, one has to say that Cyprus is very, very similar with other competing regulations. You mentioned Malta or any other, Ireland or any other jurisdictions. However, at the same time, one has to take into consideration the fact that Cyprus has already in place a number of regulated investment firms dealing in Forex, and this has given some background regulatory knowledge with to the local regulator, and is able to deal with the everyday issues. One of the most difficult things one has to deal with regulators today is the regulators' inability sometimes to understand what the business of the regulated body is. In Cyprus, you do not have this problem, simply because Cyprus and SISEC are used to having a number of Forex dealings with and by their investment firms.
How difficult is it to obtain SISEC regulation for a non-regulated company?
Well, it is a process. It is a difficult process. However, Doktor Plattis has managed to have 100% success rate. In fact, up until now that we speak, we remain still the only consultancy company that after MiFID has managed to get regulation licenses for Forex companies. It is, however, a cumbersome task. It is fraught with a lot of issues, changes, mostly relating to the organizational structure, procedures, new procedures for unregulated companies wishing to get regulation. And this is definitely something that the prospective investment firm has to take seriously into account, because regulation and license is not for the smaller players. It is for the global players who wish to grow. It is not something that it is given easily to small companies, and it should not be advised in this respect.
What is the estimated cost for the company to become regulated, including the cost of your services?
Well, I'm not going to give quotations on air. For us, it is extremely important to understand who our clients are. We work together with our clients. We remain extremely competitive because we have economies of scale. Getting a license is 1/20th of the cost of running the business annually. One should not worry about the licensing cost, but one should worry about the operation costs and the operating expenses that come after the license. Having a compliance officer, a money laundering compliance officer, an internal auditor, 2 people to manage the business, committees, control procedures, templates, dealing with reporting to SISEC. These are the real costs of running and operating an investment firm, and this is the commitment of the owners of the investment firm. it is not a matter of whether it costs 10 or 20,000 to register it or to get the license. The most important thing is the operation afterwards.
Thank you for your fabulous interview.
Thank you.